Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're diving into one of the absolute most fascinating and frankly deeply frustrating narratives in all of international football. We're breaking down Iran's national football team, famously known as Team Melli, and their intense, high-stakes quest to shatter a brutal 50-year World Cup curse at the 2026 tournament across North America. It's a story packed with incredible defensive resilience, some serious historical baggage, and unprecedented off-field dynamics. Let's get right into it. Here's our playbook for today. First, we'll cover the group stage curse, then look at the tactics of the general, followed by stars and missing heroes. After that, we'll unpack the off-field drama, preview the Group G showdown, and finally ask, will 2026 be different? All right, Chapter 1, the group stage curse. This right here brings us to the defining paradox of Iranian football. You've got to ask yourself, is the seventh time finally going to be the charm? Just think about this context for a second. 2026 marks Team Melli's 7th FIFA World Cup appearance and their 4th consecutive qualification. That level of absolute consistency in Asian qualifying, it proves they're a reliable, unquestioned regional powerhouse. They consistently dominate their neighbors, but they hit this hard, unforgiving ceiling the exact moment they step onto the global stage. In their entire history, across multiple generations of incredibly talented players, they have never advanced past the group stage, not once.
When you lay out the timeline, it really paints a picture of mounting, agonizing pressure. They made their debut back in 1978, jumped to 1998, and they claimed a historically significant, highly emotional first victory against the USA. In 2014, they suffered a truly heartbreaking stoppage time loss to Lionel Messi's Argentina. I mean, they defended flawlessly for 90 minutes, only to be undone by pure magic right at the death. 2018? That was an absolute defensive masterclass where they were literally inches away from surviving a nightmare group featuring Spain and Portugal. And then 2022 in Qatar brought even more heartbreak. Despite a stunning, emotional late win against Wales, they just fell short in the final match. Every single one of these campaigns ended after just 3 games. So as we look to 2026, the final hurdle, the cumulative pressure of all these near misses is just absolutely immense. The entire nation is waiting for them to finally break through.
Moving on to Chapter 2, Tactics of the General. To understand how they actually plan to break this curse, we have to look at the mastermind on the touchline. That's Amir Ghalenoei, affectionately known by fans as the General. Ghalenoei is a pure pragmatist. His tactical philosophy isn't about beautiful, flowing, possession-based football. It's entirely about being incredibly hard to beat. He heavily favors a compact 4-2-3-1 formation that prioritizes defensive shape above everything else. Instead of pressing high up the pitch and leaving dangerous gaps, they use a highly disciplined mid-block. Basically, they intentionally invite opposing teams forward, absorb all that pressure, frustrate their attackers, and then spring relentless, extremely direct counterattacks the moment they win the ball back. And crucially, to execute this demanding system without making mistakes, Ghalenoei relies on a highly experienced domestic spine. He completely sacrifices aesthetics to build a resilient, attritional, grinding machine.
And if you're wondering how fans back home feel about this attritional style, this number brilliantly illustrates why his methods are pretty much unquestioned, a 68.29% win rate. Since taking charge for his second stint, he's lost just 4 out of 41 matches. I mean, that is a staggering level of consistency. It makes him the most successful and respected domestic manager in Iranian football history. People might want a little more attacking flair, but at the end of the day, you can't argue with results.
But you know, every system has a vulnerability, and this highlights a major one. 37. That's the age of Shoja Khalilzadeh, the spiritual heart and backbone of Iran's defense. Actually, to put that into perspective, the average age of Iran's entire qualifying squad was nearly 31. While having veterans brings incredible emotional composure and high tactical discipline, an aging defensive line is a massive, calculated risk at the World Cup level. Just imagine pitting a 37-year-old defensive anchor, relying mostly on his positioning and intelligence, against the explosive, high-speed transitions of the world's absolute elite wingers. If that defensive shape breaks even slightly, the lack of recovery pace could be devastating. Which brings us to Chapter 3, Stars and Missing Heroes. The squad dynamics for 2026 are defined by an immense disparity. On one side, you have Mehdi Taremi, the Olympiacos striker with 56 international goals to his name. He's a lethal finisher, currently in phenomenal form, and leading the line with incredible confidence. On the other side, though, you have the massive void left by Sardar Azmoun. Azmoun, who boasts 57 international goals of his own, was dropped from the national squad following a social media post that caused significant controversy with authorities back home. His exclusion means Iran has lost one of Asia's most feared attackers, and they've lost a completely different tactical profile that they simply don't have a replacement for. Because of Azmoun's absence, every single attacking sequence, every counterattack, it all filters through one man. The entire attacking machine now runs through Mehdi Taremi. He is asked to do everything. He has to drop deep to link up play, win aerial headers against towering center backs, create the chances, and then ultimately finish them. It turns him into a funnel for the entire offense. The danger here is super obvious. If a sophisticated opponent manages to double team, isolate, or otherwise neutralize Taremi, Iran's ability to create genuine danger drops drastically. It's an extreme tactical vulnerability that top-tier teams will absolutely try to exploit.
All right, Chapter 4, the off-field drama.
Compounding all these on-field tactical challenges is the unprecedented external noise surrounding the team. The context heading into this tournament is heavily layered and incredibly complex. First off, there are the well-documented geopolitical tensions between the US and Iran. That alone generated massive global headlines and initially sparked intense rumors about whether the team would even participate. Add in the domestic controversies, like Azmoun's sudden exclusion, and you've got a deeply charged psychological environment hanging over the dressing room. But there's a massive flip side to playing in North America. Iran will play 2 crucial group stage games in Los Angeles. LA is home to an absolutely massive Iranian diaspora. This creates a kind of psychological whiplash. While dealing with severe domestic pressure and global scrutiny, the moment Team Melli steps onto the pitch in California, they'll be greeted by a deafening wall of passionate support. It essentially gives them a highly motivated home crowd advantage right on United States soil.
And any persistent rumors regarding their participation were definitively put to rest by FIFA President Gianni Infantino. He directly stated they should play. Sports should be outside of politics, effectively confirming that Iran's matches in the United States will go ahead exactly as scheduled. So, with all those logistical doubts fully cleared, the focus shifts entirely back to the football pitch.
Let's talk matchups. Chapter 5, the Group G Showdown.
Now, what's really interesting about this group is how distinct the threats are. Let's break down exactly who stands in Iran's way. First up, you have Belgium, ranked 9th in the world. Look, their so-called golden generation might be fading, but they are still a wildly dangerous squad. With masterminds like Kevin De Bruyne pulling the strings, they are tactically sophisticated and the undisputed group favorites. Trying to stop De Bruyne from finding gaps in an aging Iranian defense, that's going to be an immense task. Then there's Egypt, ranked 29th. They're a tough, physical team, but their danger threat is singularly focused on the sheer brilliance and pace of Mohamed Salah. Finally, you have New Zealand, ranked 85th. As the lowest-seeded team in the group, they represent an absolute, non-negotiable must-win scenario for Team Melli if they want any chance of advancing. So Iran's quest to escape the group stage really boils down to a very specific, high-stakes 3-step narrative. Step 1, they absolutely must beat New Zealand and Los Angeles to secure 3 points early and ride that diaspora crowd's momentum. Step 2 isn't just about surviving, it's about perfectly deploying Ghalenoei's disciplined mid-block to frustrate Belgium's high-powered attack, absorb the pressure, and try to steal a crucial point on the counter. And then step 3, it all likely comes down to a thrilling final showdown in Seattle against Egypt, where the entire tactical game plan will be entirely focused on neutralizing Mohamed Salah and preventing him from getting in behind the defense. Finally, Chapter 6, will 2026 be different? Weighing all the tactics, the drama, and the opponents, we have to look at the ultimate verdict of our explainer. Let's not forget this crucial number, 21. That is Iran's current FIFA ranking. Now, while rankings certainly don't tell the whole story of a 90-minute football match, it proves a major psychological shift. On paper, mathematically speaking, Iran is genuinely the second strongest team in Group G. They're sitting comfortably ahead of Egypt and well ahead of New Zealand. For the first time in their long history, they aren't entering a World Cup group as massive underdogs just hoping for a miracle. They're entering a group where they have every statistical right to expect progression. So let's summarize the final verdict here. The case for advancing is literally the strongest it's been in decades. They have a highly favorable group draw that avoids multiple European giants. They have an electric LA home crowd waiting for them. And the newly expanded 40-18 format offers a vital safety net where even third place might be enough to qualify. But the case against is equally stark. They're fielding a noticeably aging squad lacking essential recovery pace. They're severely missing 57 international goals of firepower without Azmoun. And the psychological weight of intense political distraction surrounding the camp is truly unprecedented. It is a perfect storm of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity mixed with massive, towering obstacles. The pieces are all set on the board. The pragmatic tactics are drilled in. The massive crowd is waiting in Los Angeles. So I leave you with this. When the whistle finally blows in North America, will Amir Ghalenoei's pragmatism finally shatter a 50-year glass ceiling? Or is Team Melli destined to be haunted by the heavy weight of their own history once again? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep an eye on Group G. It's going to be truly unmissable.